This episode of the Love Looks Like This project touches on the experience of being plus size, Weight Watchers, single motherhood, and postpartum complications. Viewer discretion is advised. Welcome to the Love Looks Like This project. My name is Sarah Margaret. I am a 27-year-old empowerment artist based out of Delaware, and my favorite vacation place, well, she, her, are my pronouns. My favorite vacation place is upstate Vermont, where there's no cell service and everything smells like trees and no one can talk to me.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I'm Sam Knapp. I am a music educator and music therapist. I am, how old am I? 36. I forgot. I just turned 36 last month.
I have it in the notes because otherwise I'm going to forget.
I'm 36. I use she, her pronouns. And I think my current favorite place to go and get away is actually Atlanta. My sister lives down there.
Really? Okay.
My sister and brother-in-law live down there with their babies, and it's so chill.
Yeah.
And welcoming. I really enjoy it.
Yes,
so,
that's fantastic. I went during college. We did a into the city type thing where you go and see other people that have graduated from the school and be like, wow, you can get jobs. So
look at you.
Woohoo!
Thriving and surviving.
Must be nice. So your job is music educator. If you could describe yourself in a way that wasn't based around a profession, how would you describe yourself?
Oh, gosh.
More hard questions.
That's a good one.
Because I know a lot of your identity is wrapped around music too, so that's
a lot
hard.
of it, yeah. So I think it would probably the other parts of my identity are that I'm a queer single mom,
who works two jobs, literally.
Right,
who
exactly.
loves her kids and never stops. All of that is true.
Heart of a fighter, I'm a survivor. So yeah, I think I would probably just say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a partner to a wonderful woman.
Yeah. We do love her a lot.
We do love her.
She's fantastic.
She is great.
So first three things that pop into your head without thinking, what are the first three words that pop into your head when you think about your body?
Oh.
No thinking.
God. Strong. My body. Fat. Mm-hmm. Which is okay.
Yes.
I think I'm beautiful.
Hell yeah, you are. I can confirm. Yes, no, it's so interesting when we talk about the word fat, because the last person who's on here, which you can use the word however you want, she chose, I think, curvy and something else. She did not want to associate with the word fat, which is totally fine. You do not have to, but I love that people are reclaiming that.
It's such a negative connotation just because of how people use it against you and how society uses it against you. It's so bad to be fat. I'm why?
Yeah.
What is bad about me being a fat person?
It's but is fat your health? I'm you have never given a shit about my health. Why are you even asking?
Is it though? Because my weight doesn't necessarily impact my overall health.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if I were to lose weight, some of the issues that I have are still going to be there.
Yeah. And the only way it impacts your health, sometimes it does impact your health. I don't want to discount that, but
not at all.
The only way it impacts your health is doctors actually take your stuff seriously.
When they listen or whether or not they listen, my knees hurt. Well, lose a few pounds. You sure? Or could it possibly be the cartilage that's no longer there?
Yeah. No, I have been a very, very wide range of weights. In high school, I was 115 and 6 feet tall. Right. Not okay. And then height of pandemic, drinking, eating a lot because there's nothing else to do. 265, way up there. And now I'm coming back down because I'm moving more and everything, but I still have osteoarthritis. That is not impact. I was trying to get that diagnosis while I was up there was not great. And that was even after I had started losing weight. And they still were not taking me seriously. And that was the first thing that they said, well, let's talk about a healthy weight for you. And I just burst into tears. Yeah. And she was I touched on something. I was why was that?
No. Sherlock.
Interesting.
No, it's perfectly fine. I literally have in my file at my doctor's office, my PCP, that weight is not something I'm interested in talking about. No. Unless it actually directly impacts what's going on, I don't want to talk about my weight. Yeah. It's off the table.
Yeah, no.
That's not something we need to talk about.
Yeah. So how would you describe your current relationship with your body and juxtaposed with how that compares to your historical relationship with your body?
It's better.
Yes, good.
It used to be. It's a lot better than it used to be. I have fluctuated weights massively. Not massively, really, but This is probably the biggest that I've ever been, the highest weight. But from the time I was like 10 or 12 until my mid-20s, probably, I was like in weight loss programs. Like I started on Weight Watchers. I was like, yeah, baby, let's lose that weight. My mom and I went to Weight Watchers meetings together. That was like our bonding time during the week. And
That
like,
is so funny.
What a terrible way to bond.
Sarah talked about the same exact thing, except with her dad.
It's
she went
just
with her
like,
dad,
it's such an awful way to bond. I have such a terrible relationship with food, but that's something else.
Yeah.
So I ran into, like, through social media when I was in college, like maybe my senior year, I ended up running into like Tess Holliday, who is a model, plus size model. She was like probably the first fat model who made like mainstream
and not fat
media.
As in America's Next Top Model.
No,
fat.
she is like fat.
Fat, yes.
She is my size fat. She, like, we wore the same size. We were about the same weight. Like, her weight carried very differently than mine does, but like, she was fat, is fat. And so she came onto the scene. I guess it might have been a year or two after. But like, once I started following her, there was like a whole body positivity movement and stuff like that. And like, unlearning the negativity around the word fat and like reclaiming it and figuring out like, okay, I carried a baby for 9 months. Like, I gave birth. I've broken how many bones and I'm still like sticking around. Like, however many things you've gone through, our bodies get us through a lot. And so my relationship with my body still isn't great every day. Like, right now I'm in a slump, but like, it's a lot better than it was when I was like 25, you know, or like when I was in college and still going to Weight Watchers meetings, like bringing my tiniest friend who was my roommate with me so I could go like weigh in, and then we would just go hang out afterwards.
You have to weigh in there?
Yeah, at Weight Watchers. Yeah.
In front of everyone else?
Not necessarily in front of everyone else. You can do it like behind a screen, a privacy screen. But yeah, they have scales. Like, you stand on the scale in front of a person at the table and they write down your weight. They'll say it out loud or they'll keep it a secret. Like, it depends on what you want, how you want it. Like, how mortifying.
Oh
like, it's a whole like...
I can't even do that by myself.
And then there's like the whole shame around food and like, a candy bar is 26 points. Well, I really wanted that candy bar. Okay, so yeah, that was my points for the day. That's all I ate.
Which is not...
Right, what a great way to start it. And everything, like, I keep seeing everything is like, Weight Watchers, like, rebranding itself, kind of. And I'm like, okay, but are they?
Well, that's another thing, like, a different side of the spectrum, but Victoria's Secret starting to rebrand itself. And, like, did you ever watch the Hulu documentary about...
I didn't.
Jeffrey Epstein was included in that documentary quite a bit. It's just like the origins of it are just so horrifying and awful. Like, I don't know that you can rebrand your way out of it. Like, because, I mean, if something has such like horrible roots to it, like, changing the flour on top is not going to change that it's like such a sickened like thing underneath.
If your roots are damaged, painting the plant isn't going to do anything.
And like,
Lowe's.
And the only reason that like they're doing is to make more money. Like, it's not because they actually care.
Right.
So it's like, I mean,
well, they got some bad media, so like that affected their bottom line though, and so
now they care.
Yeah, exactly.
And
let's
I'd
get
like
all
to
the curvy
think
models.
maybe, you know, Weight Watchers cares a little bit more than Victoria's Secret, but still, like
I hope so,
would
but also
hope,
like one of their big things recently was like rebranding and marketing towards teen girls and like young adult girls, and I was like, this is gross.
No, that is
That's gross.
I don't like that.
I didn't like it at all. I was not a fan.
Because, I mean, back when you were going as a teen, it wasn't branded towards teens, but they were going anyway. So, like, I can't even imagine, like, having, like, deliberately marketing.
Yeah. And they have changed, like, they changed even, like, from when I first started going to when I was going in college. They changed a lot of, like, the points values and, like, how they saw food and things like that.
But it's
like,
still a point system?
Candy bars were still terrible. But, yeah, it was still a point system. So you have, like, an allotted number of points that you can have throughout the day. And, like, there were some fruits and vegetables that still had points. I'm like, but they're fruits and vegetables.
Yeah. No, it's...
Don't understand.
Like, there are health issues that make it difficult to lose weight. And especially if you're on, like, antidepressants and stuff like that, like... I know that game. There are health things that mitigate weight, but like at its core, like weight loss is not it's hard to do, but it's a very simple concept. Like, but we make it like, I mean, you can't profit off of it if it's like, move your body more, and like some people can't move their body more, but like if you move your body more and then eat when you're full, like eat like, or stop eating when you're full, like all that stuff, like it's a simple concept. It's hard to do, but like
it is hard to do.
You can't like monetize that. So it's like, and
they've tried.
They've tried and they've succeeded, because it's a very expensive industry, but like all the fad stuff changes, but like it always goes back to the core things of like, yeah, you should be able to, like those articles that are like, eating an apple is worse than eating 10 slices of pizza. It's like, what are you talking about?
How so?
What? Please explain.
The natural sugars on an apple. The natural sugars.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the processed cheese on top of your pizza.
It's totally fine.
It's fine.
Indeed. So fun.
We got off topic.
It's like that no, it's literally a topic.
It is, yeah.
Mean Girls, when she's like, oh, how many calories are in this bar? And then they're like, oh, like 200. She's like, oh, I'm just getting cheese fries. Because it's like, if you
it's only 150 calories in a cheese fry, but.
On the continuum of me versus my body versus, instead of my body is a part of me and we are one and the same, where do you perceive your relationship with your body?
That's a good question.
I'm asking.
I think you are. You're like, I don't know if I was prepared.
You didn't do your homework before.
I didn't, clearly. I think it fluctuates, because of course it does. So right now, I'm kind of on like it's a me versus my body kind of side of things. It's not like all the way over here, but it's
on that. It's
kind of closer to
that.
Yeah, like it's not, it's middle-ish, but like closer to that. But
how often does that fluctuate? Like, is it like every other day, or is it like, do you go through monthly periods where it switches?
Monthly, a couple of weeks at a time sometimes. But like I can go pretty big stretches. Like I was going pretty big, like I had a pretty big span of time where like we were on the same page, kind of. Like I was feeling okay and everything was okay, and it wasn't, and then events happened and it kind of triggered it, and I was like, okay, here we are again.
Here we are. Yeah.
And now I'm like super hyper focused on it at times, and I'm like, no, like why?
Yeah.
It's super frustrating too.
Yeah,
which
it's
sucks.
incredibly frustrating, especially when you take that one step forward and then it feels like you take two steps back, and it's just like,
yes.
Why?
Yes.
So what was the first moment you remember feeling like some external force was playing a part in the way that you viewed your own body? Probably pretty early on, considering the Weight Watchers situation.
My great aunt. I will never forget. My great aunt, love her to death. But I had another cousin who is plus size. Super sweet girl. And I was always bigger than my sisters. My sisters were like rail thin all through high school, which is fine. Like they were at healthy weights. Everything was fine, whatever. But I was not. And so when I was younger, I can clearly remember my aunt bringing me into her bedroom and sitting me down, and she did this several times, and sitting me down and talking about the diet that she did in order to lose weight, or someone did. She was tiny. She was the tiniest human, I swear. She was like, don't cross this woman. But she talked about the diet that she did, where like a hard-boiled egg and a piece of toast and cucumbers, and like I don't even remember, but I had to sit and listen to it, and like, why? Yikes. And I got to this curvy figure and and I'm like, okay.
What age were you at, like when we those first started?
Probably around 10, 12.
10?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
10?
Yes, ma'am. It was just how she rolled. It sucked. And I don't think my mom or my dad realized, like, when she pulled me into to her room to talk to me, like that's what we were talking about. But like that sucked.
Yeah.
And continued to suck. And then finally my cousin was like, I'm not having these conversations with you anymore ever. Stop it. And she never pulled me in anymore either. So I was like,
damn. We love that cousin.
Yes, I love her to pieces.
Fantastic.
She's lovely. She's wonderful.
That's
I haven't seen her in a long time. But, so yeah, early.
Damn. No.
I was still a baby.
Oh,
And like that kind of stuff was, and I had like, we switched schools. So around the same time, we moved from Maryland to Delaware. We used to live in Salisbury and we moved up to Delaware. And I can clearly remember like walking out onto the playground at my new school and a bunch of the boys being like, "Here comes Godzilla." Like,
oh my God.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So, you know, super great. Super great.
See, this is not what I would have done when I was 10, but as an adult now, I would have run after them and pretended to eat them.
Yeah, that's it. That's done.
That's the only option.
Yeah, literally.
I don't know what else you would have done. Yeah, no, and if 10-year-old Sarah would have just immediately burst into tears. But 27-year-old Sarah
I don't
would have
remember bursting into tears, but I do remember, like, my face when I get embarrassed, like, I flame up. Mm-hmm. And so I do remember, like, I was bright pink.
Oh, yeah.
You know? But
oh, my God.
There wasn't a lot I could do about it. And it just sucked. It just sucked.
No, it does suck.
Yeah.
It very much sucks.
Yeah.
So what moment in your life had the biggest impact on your relationship with your body? And this could be multiple moments.
Negative or positive?
Either one.
I don't know the answer to either one, though. That's the part that sucks. I think one of the things that helped me to reframe like what my body has done for me was when, like, you know, when I came across that body positive movement and like the reframing of like, look at the things that your body has done. Like, one of the biggest things that my body has done outside of getting me through every single day of misery,
which is more than enough.
Yes. Right. I grew an entire human.
Yeah, you did.
Which is like,
he's
what?
like a whole person.
He's a whole ass person.
Yes.
So like that's pretty badass. Like,
yeah, it is.
And then I had an emergency C-section. So like,
also
that was a lot. It was a lot that my body did, and I made it through, and that was a hard time for me anyway. So like, just a lot of crazy things that all happened that resulted in something that was like, that's really cool. And like, I think my kid is pretty great. Like, I'm a little biased, but
love that.
You know,
no, I'm objective. I think he's cool.
Thanks. Yay, I did it. I mean, he does love Owl House, and he's fallen in love with Gravity Falls, actually.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad you guys are watching Owl House.
I loved the Owl House. I can't get on board with Gravity Falls. I was like,
you didn't like it?
I was not a fan. He loves it.
Okay, good.
He loves it.
That's so interesting because I've never heard someone who likes one and not the other because they're so intertwined. Because I mean, they're both Alex Hirsch,
they're both and Dana
so
I think one of the things that got me, like, in the first couple of episodes of Gravity Falls, like, a lot of the characters in Owl House are like very
gay,
goofy, gay, but like super pretty highly intelligent.
Yeah.
And like, there were just too many dumb characters.
You know, I get
in the
that.
first couple of episodes of Gravity
that.
Falls, and I was like, oh my God. Stop it.
No, I get that.
Bree didn't like it either. She was like, nope, we're good. But
That's
so I grew a whole ass human.
No, you did, and that has good taste in television.
Yes.
Yeah, which is perfect.
Yes.
We love that for him.
We sure do.
Growing a whole ass human, super cool. I know postpartum can be very difficult for a lot of people in their bodies. Which part of pregnancy, like before, during, after, like, was the most challenging for you?
After. For sure. Probably because of like all of the things combined.
And the fact that you had to like care for another person.
I was living at my parents' house. My parents had to go to work. I think my mom stayed home for a few days. One of them stayed home for a few days after, but they still had to work. So it was like, you know, you got to do what you got to do. So I'm taking care of him by myself. I'm like babying my C-section scar. And then I dropped weight like super duper fast. I went from like probably 230 to 199 like in a week or so.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good.
In case you're ever wondering,
Weight loss, get a C-section.
That
complications.
quick of weight loss can result in gallstones.
Oh.
But also that's super common in pregnant women anyway. Like they have gallbladder issues afterwards. So exactly 3 weeks to the date, which is Christmas Day, by the way. Yours truly ended up in the ER because of gallstones. Yay. So it was not a super fun time. I was babying a C-section scar. I was doing it by myself. I got stuck on the couch because I laid down. My muscles were not, so I couldn't sit back up, and I had to like slide off the couch. I will never forget it. I'm sobbing. I laugh about it now, but like I sobbed. I was like, I'm stuck on the couch. Like, had to roll the baby. And then,
because you had the baby in your arm. Okay.
Yeah, because we were like just napping on the couch. So we're just chilling on the couch, and I'm like, I gotta pee. I can't move.
Oh, no.
I'm like, I can't sit up. There's nobody home. Like, I'm just stuck. So I had to like finagle and slide. And then I had a lot of issues breastfeeding too. So like that was really super challenging because like that's one of those things like you're a new mom. You're just supposed to be able to breastfeed.
Yeah, your babies just know what to do.
Like your nipples are perfectly shaped. They're not, by the way. Mine aren't at least. And so like it was super challenging. And then I had my gallbladder removed like right before New Year's, and there was like an incision here, an incision over here,
and then also your C-sections are
right. So like and then I'm trying to breastfeed him, and like I can't lay him on my incisions, and like so it was super. After was really challenging, for sure, between like the mental exhaustion and then
because you've got no one to relieve you,
right?
No one to
and
split
like
the time with.
there was no partner, and so like it was just me, and my parents were helping to the best of their ability, like when they were available, but they're like working, and it's not their baby.
No, it's not their baby.
There was also like there was so much more to that that added to the tension there. So like it was just so much that was going on. And then my body was like, hey, fuck you. Like,
also, so I know you're going through a lot. What if you went through a little bit more?
A little bit more. Right on Christmas. It'd be great, right?
Yeah, I think we all would enjoy that.
Yeah,
personally.
Amazing. So.
As, like, just, just fantastic.
Everybody was super, super thrilled about it.
Oh, that's a great Christmas gift.
It's so good. My mom thought that after the C-section, they had left a sponge inside of me because she was in the room for my C-section. She heard them counting and like looking for a sponge. And she was like, we found the sponge. Oh, I'm like writhing on the floor. She's like, it's the sponge. It's the sponge.
It's back with a vengeance.
Right. It's like infected. Oh, so it wasn't the sponge. It was the gallbladder. So super fun. Super fun.
And I know your mom, and I can imagine. I can
visualize Oh my gosh. It was not pretty. It was not great.
That's
not great.
So
my sisters hung out with Aiden for Christmas, and mom, dad, and I went to the hospital.
Yeah.
So fun.
How do you feel like your perception of your own body impacts your relationship with other people?
Ooh. So I struggled when Brie and I first got together.
Yeah.
I struggled. It had been a really long time since I'd been with anybody. Like, I'm talking like 5 or 6 years.
Oh, really?
Like 7 years since I'd been in a relationship, but like 5 or 6 years since I was like messing with anybody or anything like that. So like it had been a long time. It was me, myself, and I. And so...
And the kid.
Right. But like... So like it was just... When Brie and I first got together, I was like, hey, here's what's going on. It's been a long time, but also like, I don't know. Like, I just don't know. I don't know how I'll react. And like, I remember crying like one of the first times that we got like intimate. I was like, whoa. She's like, are you okay? I was like, oh.
I'm having a great time. Thank you for
so
asking.
good. feels amazing. Don't mind me. So like there are still days where like that insecurity, especially over like that kind of like physical intimacy with Bree, can be a struggle. But like it's gotten so much better.
Yeah.
And she tells me all the time, like, I love your body. I love your body. I love your belly. And like, I'm like, okay, I don't right now, but I'm so glad you do. Like, so like that's really helpful.
Yeah.
Outside of that, there are still struggles. I move pretty well and pretty quickly for like a big girl. It just is what works for me. I don't know. So I don't have any issues like around like trying to catch a kid or whatever, like at work if I need to. But I have a coworker who is in a larger body and she has other health issues on top of that. So she sits for a lot of her day and that's fine. She's still doing her job. She's fully capable of doing her job. She's like, she doesn't have to, she's not with little kids. So she's not like chasing kids around. And she actually was placed in like in the typical setting with one of our classes this year. So like it worked for her. But I also saw coworkers who were not treating her well, in my perception, because of how her size impacted because it wasn't just her size, but like because of how her size impacted her ability to do her job. She was able to do her job.
Yeah.
My coworkers are just like, so like it was super disappointing. And it's also like, well, if that's how you feel about her, like what are you saying about me kind of thing. And I'm really good at like I'm so good at that kind of thing. And like worrying about like how people perceive me and things like that. And so my little neurodivergent brain is like, let's perseverate on that one. So that's super fun. It's not great though. I see, and like I'm built differently than a lot of
You're just built
plus size.
different.
I'm built different. But like my body is shaped differently. Like even within the plus size community, I have not seen until recently, like I'm talking recently, like the past 6 months probably. I've not really seen people who have my body shape. Like I have an apron belly and I've not seen that on people like in real life. Yeah. Really. And so.
And we're certainly not putting it on TVs or anything.
Right.
So, like the representation is not there.
I am just coming across like women who have apron bellies on TikTok or like on Instagram and things like that. And I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God, it's not just me. But like, I clearly remember when I started my job teaching middle school. Never again. Middle school. Never again. And I remember standing up and one of the kids went, what is that? And I'm like, yo, like if you don't shut up.
See, I would have Godzilla'd that kid too.
I know, right? Like, but you can't because I'm supposed to be the teacher.
You're educator.
Right.
Whatever.
So, but like, for sure, my body is different. My body is shaped differently. And so I'm super hyper aware of that sometimes in like different situations and different settings.
Especially when they shout it out in the middle of the classroom, like, wow, thanks.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Or like, I can always spot like the, can you just stay over there? So, super hyper aware. I try not to focus too much on it, but like it's hard.
It's hard. I mean,
and especially like when you're in a slump like I am right now, especially surrounding my belly, like it's I'm like, let's notice everybody. Yep. Okay, this is amazing. So
yeah, it's like that John Mulaney sketch where he's talking about how middle schoolers are terrifying, and he's
mildly,
like, because they are mean in a way that is accurate. And they'll go like, ha, 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 that man has feminine hips. And he'll go, that's what I'm sensitive about. So, yeah.
Thanks for triggering me.
That's what I'm
they are mean.
About.
Middle schoolers are mean, but like that's just such a developmental phase.
They're
going through it
too. Like, I mean, it's not nice and you shouldn't do that. But they are also
They are going through life.
And you could, maybe their mom is taking them to Weight Watchers too. And, you know,
there it is.
They're having,
there it is.
Comes all the way back. Although you never shouted, what the hell is that at someone.
Right.
When you're teachers. So,
what is that?
So what makes you feel happiest in your body?
I've been lifting weights again.
That's exciting.
I love lifting weights.
That's so cool.
I love lifting weights. So I'm like, yes.
There we go. Build different.
Exactly. So like that kind of thing, like seeing that my weight has gone up, like I'm like building the strength and things like that. I love it too. I like to wear crop tops just around the house. Like they're just so comfy and I'm like, whatever. Free the titties. Free like the it's titties, fine.
Free the belly.
And Brie will look at me and she's like, I love you in a crop top. And I'm like, yeah, you do. Okay. I'll wear a crop top like all the time if you want me to.
Perfect.
Just tell me.
Yeah.
So like when she compliments my body or like, you look so sexy or like something like that, it's like, oh.
Yes.
Yay.
It takes so long for those compliments to actually register, like years.
Not even just register, but like for me to believe it and then to not go, thanks. like a little gremlin or something like that. Like,
yeah, no, it takes like years.
Yeah.
Like hearing it, you have to hear it over and over and over and over and over again to like, oh,
she
you mean
means
that
it.
you're not kidding? Okay.
This is true? Okay.
For real? All right. I believe you. And then once they do, it's just like, once they finally resonate and they're like,
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
She made fun of me when we first got together and she'd be like, you're so pretty. And I'd be like, just make like the worst face possible. And she'd be like, why do you do that?
Accept the compliment.
I don't know. Yeah.
And that's another way, like, it impacts our relationships with people. And because, like, Justin would be like, do you not believe me? Do you think I would lie to you?
Right.
I was like, well, now I feel bad.
Right, exactly. They're like, I think you're beautiful. Why don't you believe me? And you're like, I'm so sorry, my sweet little muffin.
And then I'll be like, wait a second.
God
you're
damn
just doing this stuff to bamboozle me.
Yeah. They're good
Partners
at the
who care.
I know, exactly. It's the worst. Disgusting.
So what has helped you heal parts of yourself that have been impacted by like your deepest insecurities? Besides partners that compliment us.
Besides partners that compliment me, honestly, being a mom, like, I think it'd be way different if I was a girl mom. I'm a boy mom. So, like, the body image issues are a lot different. But parenting through a lot of things that, like, are triggering for me or that I had issues with. Like, right now, we're very much in a phase where we just don't eat, like, ever. And I'm like, dude,
kind of got to do that.
You're almost as tall as me. Like, you got to eat. Like, and he's like, can I just have chips and salsa? Can you have something with some substance? Like, just a little bit of substance. Like, a smidge of nutritional value. Like, don't get me wrong. That salsa has plenty of vegetables, but like, something a little more substantial. An apple and some peanut butter. And so, like, he'll snack on, like, apples and peanut butter, or like bananas and peanut butter on crackers or something like that. But like, it's super triggering for me in a way because like I still at 36 years old don't know when I'm hungry sometimes. Like, I know you struggle with the same thing. I'm like, oh, I'm shaking.
What is this?
I have a headache. I can't function anymore.
What's going on?
What's happening?
I must be weak.
Right, exactly. I'm dying. So, like, watching him go through the same stuff and, like, trying to parent through that and, like, not let it, like, trigger my insecurities and, like, my issues and stuff like that has been pretty...
Because I imagine watching, like, the nibbling is hard. Like, because those seem like...
He's super much, like, a grazer, too. So, like, he would, like, tiny things all day if he could. But, like... And I don't care.
Yeah. But like,
if that's how you
if you're going to be in school, you can only eat at lunch.
Right.
You can't make your schedule like...
Yeah. And he ate super early this year. And so, like...
Oh, that can fuck with stuff, too. It's like, what do you mean I have to eat, like, pizza at 10:30?
At 10:30. Yeah, so he's eating lunch at 10:30. And we're packing, like, applesauce, juice, popcorn.
And then by the time you get home,
Like, is there anything else?
Yeah. Is that it?
Nothing?
Is that
Okay.
it? Anything other than that?
No, that's it.
Is it he is a picky eater, or he's just like not, he doesn't think he's hungry, or like, what do you think?
Some of both. He does have a tendency to be fairly picky. He's not nearly as picky as some people that I know, but he has a tendency to be pretty picky. And then like he just doesn't, I don't know if he's like legitimately not hungry or like is just not able to discern it.
Yeah.
You know?
It's hard.
And that sucks
It's hard
too.
to like listen to your body, especially when you have to be on that stupid schedule that you don't make up. Like,
So dumb.
it's hard. Like,
Because I have the same schedule. And I had to eat at 11 this year.
Yeah.
My lunch started at 10:55, which like 10,
that's breakfast time.
that's still breakfast.
That's brunch.
Like anytime before 11 is like not lunchtime
No.
in my brain.
That's brunch
So that
time.
was hard. So I like, even for me, I'm hungry, but like I'm like, it's not lunchtime. What is this?
This is not lunchtime.
So
Yeah.
it's tough. I'm hoping that he has like an 11 o'clock lunch this year. But like it's hard to make it work. And then like you come home and you're like, oh, well, dinner's not until like 6 o'clock.
Which is,
Of course, that's
normal
dinner time. Right. That's the normal dinner time. And so in my brain, I'm like, I can't have dinner until 6 o'clock. If I wanted to, I could have dinner at 3:30.
Yeah, you could.
Can I eventually reframe that? Sure, probably. Will it take some time? Absolutely.
Yes.
But yeah, so like I think there's just a lot. There's a lot.
No, and it's so hard because it's like, what is the difference between me making a food schedule that works for me versus disordered eating? Like, because it's like, is eating at 3:30 what my body needs, or am I bored, or am I like figuring it out? So
And like
hard.
day to day, it's different.
Yeah.
And that's what sucks too.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's why I struggle so hard with lunches.
Yeah.
'Cause, like, especially if I'm hyperfixating on something and it's like super late, and then because Justin can take lunch whenever he wants.
Right.
So sometimes he'll eat super late, or sometimes I'll eat early, and then he'll come home and then he wants to eat dinner. But like, I don't know, it's like,
yeah.
it's hard.
That's, I mean, yeah.
It's tough.
It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. The fact that we have to
So-
feed ourselves every day is stupid.
Honestly,
Done.
it's so
And I hate
hard.
it. 0 out of 10.
So over it.
When do you feel most comfortable in your body? Whether just like looking at yourself, you like the way you look, or you just feel comfortable like physically.
I think just physically, like just chilling. Like at home, at Bree's house, like whatever, just sitting, chilling at home, being like relaxed and like
Crop top, titties out.
right,
Living
whatever.
life.
Or like this thing is so stupidly comfortable.
I freaking love
And
stuff like that.
I'm like, yes.
Yes.
Like I have 2 of them now. Thank
Yes.
you, TikTok. They're just dumb comfortable.
Yeah. No, I started wearing like that for like weddings that I'm shooting.
Yeah.
It's like I am not wearing fancy pants for you. Like,
Don't get me wrong. I'm not a fan of like everything out when you have to pee.
that is also not, yeah.
Not a huge fan, but also like
Small price to pay.
for the comfort 8 hours out of the day, I'm cool. Like I'm just chilling in this thing. So yeah, I think like just comfy clothes, hanging out at home, like with my people.
And their dogs and cats.
Yes, whichever house we happen to be at.
Whichever one. Yeah, how does the schedule work? Or is it just like random?
What's
like
the schedule?
I mean, yeah.
Sunny has not been left alone overnight, so Bree is not currently spending the night at our house. So we spend all our, like any nights that are spent together are spent at her house. So it's summertime. Who gives a we'll
Teacher
spend,
schedule. Yeah.
we'll spend midweek right now, and then like one night on the weekend sometimes. Can we just be closer?
Yeah. Just like
This is dumb.
little
Yeah.
next to each other with like a bridge in between them.
Right.
Yeah, perfect. Love
Something.
it.
It's got to be simpler than that.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, just chilling at home.
Chilling at home. Love it.
No bra.
What do you like most about your body?
I like my smile.
You do have a very delightful smile.
Thank you.
Especially when you make silly faces.
My mom's favorite is this one. Directly at camera.
You didn't
Here,
whip that
Mom.
one out when we did family photos.
I
with you guys.
didn't. I should have. I told her I was going to, and she was like, "Don't you?"
Didn't want to cross, Mom.
fine.
Whatever.
And then I like my eyeballs. Pretty
Eyeballs
blue
are
eyeballs.
good. Eyeballs are good.
My hair right now is doing things. I actually cut my hair today.
Oh, nice.
I've not tried.
Like we're in between dye type things right now. Sore subject.
No, but I cut my undercut for the first time.
Nice.
I was like, it's too long. I don't like the length that it is at for pictures. I'm doing it myself.
Perfect. I love it.
So I did it myself before I showered today, and then I was like, hope it turns out okay. And it did. Look at me go.
Perfect.
So it's fine.
I have not gotten my hair professionally cut since high school because I got my hair, like I cut my hair. I had them do like a pixie cut, and then I had to go back to get it trimmed, and it was like $40. And high school to me, $40 to me in high school, I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm just learning how to do it myself.
Yeah. Well, like that's why I was like, I don't need this cut. I just need the undercut done. I have clippers at home. I'm a competent individual.
Yes, you are.
I'm a professional.
Heck, yes.
Not at cutting hair, but I am a professional
in other places.
Okay?
I'm an educated
I was like,
woman.
I can do this. And Aiden's like, oh no. I'm like, I got this.
You can do it.
If I shave my head, I shave my head. Like, whatever.
Love
It's
it.
just hair.
That's the same thing with me. I'm like, if I it up, it's all going away.
Right. Like I don't care. Like, it's just hair.
It is.
Will I cry about it? Quite possibly. But like, next week it'll be fine.
And that is the thing with short hair. It like comes right back.
Right.
So, but my friend just asked me, she's like, how hard is it to cut your hair? Because she also has the short hair. I'm like, I do have pencil straight hair. Like, so that makes it easier.
Oh, yeah.
Because hers has texture to it. And she's like, well, where did you get the razor that you use? And I was like, Justin's drawer in the bathroom. Because I have never bought my own.
Great question. Maybe Walmart.
Maybe, I don't know, ask him. I had to steal it. What are you proud of your body for being able to do? Because I know we've talked about creating a whole ass human. Super cool.
Yep.
Love that. Currently. And like lifting weights. We love that too. Catching children as they run off into the distance.
I'm pretty flexible.
Yeah.
Which
good.
like for a big girl is like
That
kind
is-
of,
Yeah.
but I'm fairly flexible. Like I was sitting on the floor in my classroom, maybe in like May, and I'm sitting, like I had my legs like just out, and the kid was sitting at, like right here in front of me, and one of my coworkers is like, oh my God, how do you get your legs that wide open? I'm like, I'll just do. I don't know.
That's where the leggies
just
go.
do it. This is just how they function. She's like, holy I don't think I could do that. I was like, but you're so small and tiny and like no. I mean, it doesn't mean maybe there's
stretchy.
Maybe there's some hypermobility there. I have been like messing with that idea recently, but like I'm pretty flexible.
Nice, that's cool.
Which is kind of cool.
And what do you appreciate about your body?
Sarah. I don't know. Oh God, that it gets me through every day. I guess.
That was a really confident answer.
I know.
No, but getting through days is hard.
It is hard.
It's hard.
It's so hard, especially like look at the world right now.
I know. Everything's on fire.
It
and it's
really
just
is. It's just burning.
No, it feels so stupid. Like when I have to like make my posts on like, you know, social media because I am a business and need to make money. I'm like, I'm just here taking my stupid little photos and like everything's on fire and like people are dying.
The world is burning. Here's a pretty picture.
Here's a pretty picture. I know this ruins the vibes, but
I'm sorry. In between the miserable posts, here's one good one.
Here's the pretty one.
Yeah. No, I think like just getting through every day.
Yeah. Because not everyone can do that.
Right.
And it's hard out there.
It really is.
You get up so early because you're a teacher and I can't do that.
Listen, we woke up at 6:05 this morning to go take care of those dogs. I woke up at 6:05. I didn't get out of bed until 6:20. But I woke up at 6:05. That alarm went off and I was like, fine. And then the cats started bothering me and I was like, fine. So it is early. It is ungodly early. And when it's dark outside.
Oh my God. It's like,
why did I pick this profession?
Because I care about music and kids or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like I like what I do.
Gross, but not the early hours. One time, my grandmother, she was retired, but she was the head of kitchens at a middle school. And so she was the first person
Ungodly
to get
times.
there every single day.
Yeah.
She she woke up at 3 a.m. every day.
Yeah.
And she got to the school at 3:45. She would always get there too early, and she would sometimes set the alarms off, and it's like, Grandma, calm down. But I had to go with her one time. It was like she always went crazy out for everyone at the like during Christmas. So she like brought all these like chocolate sleds for people, and she made a cheesecake and did all this stuff, but there was no way she was gonna get in it. So I was like, Grandma, I'll help you. So I got up and I was like, you do this every day.
My eyes not even open.
This is not good. I don't like this. Yeah. So I had to help her like get everything in, and she was like, I think we have to wait an extra 2 minutes because otherwise the alarm will go off. I'm like, Grandma, why are you getting here this early?
Why are we here right now then?
To get here this early, they would change the alarms for you.
Yeah.
They had to come save you multiple times because they think there's going to be this
going at
horrible person
4:15
breaking. Yeah. Because they think there's going to be this like terrifying person breaking into the school, and it's just my grandma with her little walker trying to get into this.
All her chocolate sleds.
All in her chocolate sleds.
Just trying to bring some joy.
Yeah, just trying to bring some joy. Yeah, and she like makes these cheesecakes that are like 20 pounds, like because they're just like the
honking cheese.
Oh, I was like, there is no way in hell you're getting this stuff in there, man.
I love a good cheesecake.
But yeah, all that to say, I don't wake up early in the morning because absolutely not.
It's just awful.
It's too much.
I'm not a morning person and I'm not a night person anymore. Like, what am I?
I'm like A-okay at like 2 p.m.
I'm functional at 5. I don't know.
That's
about it. Yeah.
Anyway, so we have finished up the initial part of the interview, and for the session-y part, I have some fun things planned.
Yeah.
We're gonna do it out of order because it would not make sense to do the damp part first. So we're gonna do like an Ophelia type thing in a pool. Okay. And then we're also going to, after that, do as if Ophelia and Medusa like came together to like up everyone the Godzilla kids and all the so I've got a sword, take them out. And then also I want to play around with like the hose with the hose SE, not ES, but to do like rainbow stuff to make it gay. So make it gay because that's what we gotta do.
Yes, make it gay.
Fighting with microphones, freezing down to my bones, and to top it all off, I whip you out. Okay.
What theater? What?
Right.
I was like, I never liked Rent. I don't know why. I know it's horrible
Oh,
of me to
man.
say as a musical theater person.
That's okay.
Some people are upset when I say that. But I watched it when I was like younger and again more Jesus-y, so maybe I'll like it more now.
Same.
Because they were a lot of harlots.
They were
And sluts.
They were a lot of
Whores.
sluts. And drug addicts.
Yes. All right.
So.
Speaking of the sluts and hard, we're ready to see our photo.
Let's do it.
All right. So these are not edited.
Right.
So all the fun little things are going to be out there. We're going to handle the rosacea and everything. Mm-hmm. All those fun little things. So just kind of swipe on through and do your thing. If it decides to swipe.
The sun was sunning.
It's all fake. The sun was not sunning.
Damn.
I put a light behind the greenery so that it looked like the sun because it does that like around like 7, but I'm never shooting then, so and it worked better than I thought it would. Like when it's further back, you see more of the fake sun.
That is okay. These are cool.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to take the sword out yet for shoots, so this was exciting.
Yeah.
Mulan moment.
Am I loyal, brave, and true? It's like my least favorite song.
Wait, which song is that?
It's from the live action one.
Wait, they have a song in it?
Yeah, but it's like just like the theme.
The background.
Yeah, it's just very much like the theme of the.
I was like, they did not have music in there, and they know they didn't have music
sing.
and Mushu. So
I know. That was disappointing. Like, no Mushu. Like, what are we doing here?
But once I saw people saying like, I want everyone to be, you know, like correctly cast, like with races and everything, except Eddie Murphy. Please have him come back as Mushu. He can be the one exception.
That's hilarious. I like. Wait, where'd it go? Nope, this one. I like to.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Mm-hmm. That's pretty. That's pretty.
Ken running around.
Yeah, right.
Just having a panic attack.
Like,
I'm just so nervous. There he is.
Yeah, he made it.
He made it. I am shocked that no chickens showed up in any of the photos.
I know.
They were not.
They stayed on like that side.
Yeah, no, typically they're all up in everything. I was
Yeah.
trying to take test shots and Deldot was like, here's my ass. And I'm like,
Wait,
no,
what's her name?
Deldot, like Delaware Department of Transportation.
I was like, wait. Stop it.
Yes.
That's hilarious.
So we got a, one of the groupings we named after Justin's like work stuff because he
That's
home.
so fucking cute. Stop it. I love that.
We got some dancey times.
The finger point.
Yeah. Gotta get the jazz hands in there.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. We were jamming.
Yeah, we were. You gotta dance.
Yeah, we were doing the jamming, and then we got our, I was gonna say Julia Child, that's incorrect.
No. So close.
Whoopsie.
Julie Andrews.
Yes. This was the double gay.
Yeah.
I was finally doing what I wanted it to.
I really love that one.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the first one, like the last one of these. Like, those are probably my favorite. That first one is probably my favorite one.
Mm-hmm. That's all the things.
Yay!
Yay! And so afterwards, you'll have to pick the one you want for your digital and metal print. But now we get to do our little post session thingy. Yay! This is the second time we worked together in a boudoir capacity.
Yeah.
So we have done family photos as well. How did the session make you feel, like, during it?
Good.
Good?
Yeah.
Good. I like
Good. Period.
That's kind of similar to what Justin and I, like, when we were considering getting together, I was like, gave him like a laundry list of things why he shouldn't be with me, blah, 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 whatever. And I'm like,
this is why I'm a problem. And he's like, it's fine.
And he looked down, I was like, okay, so what do you think? After I said my like monologue. And he was like, I think if we were to date, it would be good. And I was like, that's all we got? And he's like, yep. And then he was like, well, if we're gonna date, I want it to like be for real. And I was like, okay. And then he included that in our vows. So he's also meant a few words. What was the most prominent emotion you felt during the experience, other than hot and sweaty, because it was very hot outside?
So hot. So warm. I mean, happy.
Happy, yes, good.
Joyful.
Good. We were dancing up.
We were dancing.
It was all fun.
I'm gonna keep on dancing.
Shout out to our good friend Chapel. What was your favorite part of the session?
Probably the dancing.
The dancing.
And the gay water.
Dancing and gay water. That's pretty much everything.
Who doesn't love some gay water?
I mean, that makes the frogs gay. So probably Alex Jones. If you could say something to a 11-year-old Sam, what would you say?
Oh shit.
You only have a few sentences.
I don't even know, because she's so much. She's got so much more to deal with too. What would I say to 11-year-old Sam? Where was 11-year-old Sam? Let's go with that. Let's start there.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, I think just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
It's not going to be easy, but you're going to make it through it.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get to the other side.
One way or another.
It's just going to suck some.
Mm-hmm. But it's also really nice sometimes, too.
Yeah, there were nice moments. I think, though, there were a lot of changes during really big developmental stages for me.
Mm-hmm.
We moved a lot, or like things changed. I actually counted it a few weeks ago. I was in a different school, 2 different schools in 5th grade, a different school for all 3 years of middle school, and then 2 separate high schools. So in 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 8 years of school, I was in 7 different schools.
That's
so
crazy.
That's
a lot.
It's a lot. And so like that was a lot of
mm-hmm.
changes, and like there's just so much
Mm-hmm.
movement and like uprooting
Mm-hmm.
that is still to come for 11-year-old Sam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like getting through it and just like literally just barreling through it.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be good. There will be good moments, and you will find good people, and it'll be fine. You'll get to the other side, but like just keep your chin up.
Sometimes
Keep
you
your chin up.
don't think you're gonna make it to the other side, and then you just kind of gotta.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you could say something to someone who's out there wishing that they had the courage to do something that would further their self-love journey, but they're not like ready, what would you tell them?
Take your time. It's not about like figuring it out today or tomorrow even. You have to like, it's going to happen in your own time, and it's going to be up and down and back and forth. It's not going to be an even keeled, like straight shot.
Mm-hmm.
It's never a straight shot. I have a t-shirt that has like scribbly lines, and progress isn't always linear because it's just not.
Mm-hmm.
And so like you're going to have the ups and downs and the backs and forths, and you just have to keep moving forward. If the goal is to get to the other side and feel better and find that love for yourself, then you have to keep moving forward, and you have to like expose yourself to those people who are going to help you with that, whether that's in real life people, whether that's online people.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter, but like keep going.
Mm-hmm. Again,
Just
keep going.
Keep going.
Keep moving forward. Yep, that's the
That's
thing.
literally
You
the
just gotta
hardest
keep
part
moving.
is to keep moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
It's the hardest part.
Yeah, even if you're just crawling.
Yeah.
You just have to keep moving
Because you
forward.
just want to stop sometimes. It's like hard. It's not fun. It's not pleasant every moment, because you like have to deal with parts of yourself that you don't love,
Mm-hmm.
that you don't like, and you have to figure out why. I'm like, how awful.
Yeah.
First of all,
Just plain rude that we have to do.
literally,
It's
like
just so
why? But you have to figure that out, and then like you have to move past it. You have to figure out how to deal with it and keep going.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard, and you just want to stop.
You do.
Because it's miserable.
It is miserable, but it is beautiful sometimes.
It is.
But
It
it's
is.
like you don't get to do the beautiful. If we could just do the beautiful stuff, that'd be really nice.
Exactly.
But then
It'd
we
be
wouldn't-
amazing.
But then we want to be who we are, so
Right.
you know it's important to do that too. It's got to
Yeah.
do the hard stuff. But thank you so much for joining
Of
us.
course.
And now it's
Thank
going to
you
be
for having me.
tricky to pick the one that you like, but I think you found the one.
I
that
think
you
I
like.
found the one I like.
Perfect. Well, that's going to be way easier than most everyone else because
Yeah.
we were here for quite a while with the
Were
other
you
two
really?
people. Oh yeah, no, they were having issues, but which is good, which is a good sign.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Love Looks Like This project. If you want to support the project, you can do so for free by subscribing, watching more episodes, sharing this episode with your friends, and following us at all the links in the description. If you really want to support us, we have really pretty merch, art prints, and even a donation link with details with upcoming investments we plan to make on this project. And if you really, really want to support us by telling your story in an episode, make sure you join our self-love group on Facebook, as they always are the first to know about upcoming opportunities and will be the first to know when applications reopen. Please know that you are loved, you are irreplaceable, and beauty is not a price you have to pay to take up space on this earth. See you in the next episode.